Hello, welcome to EdPlace. Thank you for joining EdPlace live lessons from your homes. I'm Miss Mill and you've joined us for an English lesson today. EdPlace is an online digital learning platform for children in Year 1 to Year 11, offering English, Maths, Science and 11 plus self-marked activities written by fully qualified teachers. We're bringing live English, Maths and Science lessons into your homes during the school closure period. So why not join us over the next few weeks as we tackle some key topics? You might find it useful to have a pen and paper handy as we go so that you can make a note of key ideas or jot things down. You'll also need to access your EdPlace account. If you don't have an EdPlace account, do not worry. You can access all of our activities if you go to edplace.com. We'll go over this in more detail when we get to that part. So, welcome to today's English lesson entitled Spag Battle, the Dash versus the Hyphen, with me, Miss Mill. By the end of today's lesson, we're aiming to have achieved either one or all of the following 3 steps. To explain the difference between a hyphen and a dash, to understand why hyphens and dashes are used within sentences, and to apply this understanding within example sentences. Let's start with the million-dollar question. What does a hyphen and a dash look like? This is a hyphen. This is a dash. Can you spot the difference? I'm just joking. They really are exactly the same. How confusing! The only way that we can tell which is which is by seeing them in a sentence. This is where it starts to get clearer. A hyphen joins words to make a new word to avoid ambiguity. This means when something is not very clear. A dash is used to add parentheses to a sentence, which means extra information. Let's start with hyphens. When are they needed? The first rule is using hyphens for the numbers 21 to 99. It's important to know as it could cost you money. For example, if someone asked, would you like £21 or £21, you should go with the hyphenated word, as this way you would get £21. The 21 without a hyphen tells us there are 20 lots of £1 coins. Therefore, you'd end up with £20. Every penny counts. Another way in which hyphens can be used is to form compound adjectives, where words are joined by a hyphen to make an adjective. Here, for example, we have a sentence. The blue-eyed baby looked ahead in confusion. The hyphenated word is blue-eyed, and it is one adjective to describe the baby. If there was no hyphen, it would be as if there were 2 adjectives describing the baby as blue and eyed. And that baby is definitely not blue. The hyphen makes this clear. This is similar to a compound adjective. A compound noun is formed by words joining together to create a new noun. For example, a student teacher. Here in this sentence, it shows there is one person who is a teacher in training. Whereas without the hyphen, we might think there is both a student and a teacher teaching the lesson. Another use of hyphens is to clarify the meaning of a word. In this sentence, I need time to recover after being ill. Recover means to get better. In the second sentence, he decided to recover the food once it had cooled. Recover means to cover again. The hyphen helps us to know which meaning is which. Some words, often ones with double vowels, have a hyphen to help you pronounce them correctly. Here we have cooperate and co-owner. If there wasn't a hyphen, I would most likely read this as cooperate and cooner, which might make me look a bit silly. Let's move on to dashes. When are they needed? Dashes are used for parentheses, which means extra information. Here are 2 examples. The strawberries which she bought a few days ago, had already gone mouldy. The rainbow, bright and colourful, stretched across the cloudy sky. The coloured words are the added information, which are surrounded by dashes to help the sentence make sense. If we took out the parentheses and the dashes, the sentence should make sense on its own. Let's check. For the first sentence, it would be, the strawberries had already gone mouldy. That makes sense. The second sentence would be, the rainbow stretched across the cloudy sky. Also makes sense. Let's get ready to rumble! Let the battle commence. Hyphen versus dash. For each of these sentences, I want you to tell me whether it's a hyphen or a dash. Which are there most of and who will win the battle? Pause the video now to read them through and make notes on which you think are dashes and which you think are hyphens. Okay, well done. Let's go through them. In this sentence, lime green is used to describe the shirt, so it is a compound adjective, and therefore this punctuation is a hyphen because a new word is formed. 32 is a number between 21 and 99, so this is also a hyphen. The scores so far are hyphen 2, dash 0. In this next sentence, we have three possibilities of a hyphen or a dash. The first one is between man and eating. The word man-eating has been made to describe the shark, so this is a compound adjective and must be a hyphen. The next one, between shark and witch. Shark witch. That's not an adjective, a noun, or a number. It wouldn't make sense as one word. So let's see if it adds extra information. Which was terribly frightening tells us about the shark. And we can double check this is right by removing the extra information and seeing if it makes sense on its own. The man glared at its unsuspecting victim. Yes, this makes sense. So it must be a dash. This means the leaderboard is now hyphen 3, dash 2. We're into the final round. Ice cream. Does this become a new word? Yes, it's a compound noun, so this is a hyphen. The next one is cream witch. I definitely haven't heard of a cream witch. Let's see if it adds information about the ice cream. Which I gave to my mother-in-law. Yes, it tells us more about it. And if we get rid of that information, does it make sense? The chocolate ice cream was delicious. Yes, it makes total sense. These are 2 dashes for parenthesis. Then we have the last 2 pieces of punctuation in mother-in-law. Does this create a new word? Yes, it's a compound noun. So the results are in hyphen 6, dash 4. Now that we've gone through hyphens and dashes together, you should be able to have a go at this activity. Sign into your EdPlace account or visit the website www.edplace.com and have a go. We will go through some of the questions together once you have completed it. Remember, you can watch this video again if there is anything you are unsure of. The activity you are looking for is called Mark Independent Clauses Using a Dash. If you have an EdPlace account, go straight to English. Those of you without an account, click the Learn tab on the website and then click English. After this, our route is the same. We click Year 6, select the Curriculum tab, and then go to Writing, Vocabulary, Grammar and Punctuation. You should then find a list of activities under the title Punctuate Independent Clauses. Select Mark Independent Clauses Using a Dash to get started. Let's just double check we're on the correct activity. This is the introduction page you should be able to see. If you can't see this, go back to the list of activities and check you have selected the correct one. If you can see this page, pause my lesson and have a go at the activity. I'm going to go through 3 of the questions in the next part of the lesson, so don't worry if you get stuck. Let's start with question 3. You have to look at the sentence and choose which words we should add a dash after, remembering that dashes surround the extra information. The ship, which was majestic and new, sailed swiftly across the bay. The extra information is which was majestic and new, and I can check this by seeing if the rest of the sentence makes sense without it. The ship sailed swiftly across the bay. Yes, it does. So this is the answer. For question 6, you need to choose which commas could be replaced by dashes. I need to look for the added information again. Here, the extra information is a relative clause about the polar bear, which was white and powerful. If I take the parenthesis away, it still makes sense. Suddenly, the polar bear emerged from the gloomy deep water. It cannot be the other 2 commas because the first one, used after suddenly, is there because suddenly is a fronted adverbial, and the last one, between gloomy and deep, is there to break up a list of adjectives. I now know that I need to click the word bear and powerful to show these commas can be replaced by dashes. For question 9, it has a sentence with missing dashes for you to add in. I know that I'm looking for added information and that when I take out that added information, the sentence will make sense alone. You may get a headache could be extra information, so let's take it out and see. If you don't drink enough water as I haven't today, does that make sense as a sentence? No, it doesn't, so that can't be right. What about as I haven't today? Let's take that out. If you don't drink enough water, you may get a headache. That's better. So the dashes should be placed after water and today. Let's recap what we set out to do today. How did you get on? Can you explain the difference between a hyphen and a dash? Do you understand why hyphens and dashes are used within sentences? Are you able to apply this understanding within example sentences? If you have met one or all of these, well done. You have met the objective for today. We know that some of you will feel you need a little more practice to really master these skills, while others of you are ready for your next challenge. To help you know which activity to select next, here are some suggestions. The activity we just tried is listed as Activity 2. If you want more practice using dashes, try Activity 1 and then have another go at Activity 2. If you feel ready to move on to separating main clauses with a semicolon, move on to Activities 3, 4 and 5. As we finish up for today, here are other places you can find us or access support. We look forward to working with you again soon. And keep practicing in the meantime.